The Durham region saw a slight shift in the real estate market during the month of January, and in this video, we're going to look at how that's affected Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby. My name is Jessie McClellan, and I'm a realtor with the Lisa Abbott team here in Oshawa, Ontario. If you'd like to stay up to date on everything happening in the Durham region real estate market, then subscribe to the channel. And if you have any questions for me or think I might be a good fit to help you buy or sell a home here, you can use the link in the description to book a call with me at a time that works best for you. So in Durham region overall, we've seen sales and new listings both increase from December to January, but not at a pace that could help sustain our already low inventory levels. So the number of active listings decreased once again by the end of the month. And given the low inventory conditions and coming out of the slowest time of the year, that caused our average price across Durham region to increase slightly by 4%. But these changes impacted the areas of Durham region differently. I've already uploaded my full market update for Durham region that includes some buyer and seller advice, along with a breakdown video of Oshawa and Clarington. So feel free to check those out later as well. Whitby saw the largest percentage increase to the average home price out of all of the main areas of Durham region, with an increase of 9.6%, bringing the average price up to $1,029,000. Despite the 57% increase in new listings month over month, Whitby still saw a 22% increase in sales and enough listings terminated or taken off of the market that caused the active listings to drop 12%, and Whitby ended January with 117 active listings on the market. From a year-over-year perspective, this is right in line with how Whitby and much of Durham region started the year last year. The biggest difference was the number of sales in Whitby was 40% higher than last January. Those extra sales eat up a fairly significant chunk of the available inventory this year, and Whitby ended January with only 1.1 months of inventory compared to 1.7 months from this time last year. This is similar to what most of Durham region is experiencing, and at this time of year when activity starts to pick up, things can change very quickly, and I would expect that our inventory levels start to look a little bit better by the end of February. Moving on to Ajax, that area did not see any major swings in price. The average price of all home types increased only 1.5% to $927,000 during the month of January. Ajax followed in Whitby's footsteps with a 49% increase in the number of new listings, with 97 listings added in January, and 8.6% increase in sales, with 75 transactions completed last month. And just like Whitby, the inventory level also dropped about 21%, and Ajax ended January with just 91 active listings and about 1.2 months of inventory. Not much of a departure from Ajax's year-over-year stats, slightly less sales and new listings last year, but overall pretty similar. It seems every time I do one of these updates for Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby that one of the areas likes to be about a month behind the others or trending the complete opposite way for some reason, and this month that area is Pickering. Funnily enough, even though Pickering didn't really follow the exact same path as the other areas, it still ended January with a very similar year-over-year comparison, which we'll take a look at in a moment. The average price of all home types in Pickering actually decreased 5% to $954,000 from an average price of just over $1 million in December. But for some context, Pickering was one of the only, if not the only, area that saw a price bump in December, so it makes sense that it came back down. It's now only $10,000 above the average price from November. New listings in Pickering increased 87%, going from 71 to 133 new listings month over month. As for sales, there was a small decrease as it went from 78 sales in December to 71 in January. The spike in new listings but slight drop in sales helped keep inventory levels relatively in check, and Pickering only lost 4 active listings in January. And while it still has a low inventory level of 1.8 months, if you exclude Uxbridge, Scugog, and Brock, which tend to move much slower and not always in unison with the rest of Durham region, Pickering has the highest months of inventory of the 5 main areas. As I mentioned earlier too, the year-over-year comparison isn't that different for Pickering. We know that activity overall will pick up from this point onward pretty much until the summer. So what I'm going to be looking for moving forward as activity increases are sales and listings increasing at a fairly balanced rate, and what does our months of inventory and sales to new listing ratio look like? I think if most areas of Durham region can stay in that high 2s, almost 3 months of inventory, and the sales to new listing ratio stays in that 35 to 55% range, that would certainly help our chances of having a more balanced and healthy spring market, but we're definitely not there yet. And a lot of it is also going to come down to rates being offered as well. We've seen bond yields start moving back up slowly since the beginning of the year, so we can keep an eye out on that as well, because fixed mortgage rates tend to follow. And along with all of those available stats and numbers that help us know what's happening, I'll continue to pay special attention to my experiences with clients, to the frequency of multiple offers on homes, what price points they seem to be happening in most, and are the sale prices in line with recent comparables, or do we start to notice the sale prices creating a gap between similar properties that sold in the weeks prior? Because that's going to help us paint the most complete picture of where the market is heading. Check out the description of the video. There's a link to some free guides and resources and a link to book a call with me if you'd like to get your questions answered about our real estate market. Hope you found this video helpful. Thank you so much for watching until the end. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.